Fast. Faster. Faster. The world is burning, but we need no water. Let them burn. Don't walk. Don't walk. Don't walk. The fool is everyone, including you and me. Each step we take on this journey feels like stepping into a brave new world. Now, in Edgerunner and David's case, he's young and he is impatient. And as he's crossing the street, he is told when to walk or don't walk. Don't walk. And he impatiently waits for the world to allow him to move forward. He wants to move forward at an incredibly fast pace. And that's the energy he carries. That's his vibe. His vibe is the world is going too slow. We want to be grown up as fast as possible, but not for good reasons. The problem with this way of life is that you tend to not live in the moment because you're always impatiently waiting for the next. People who have grown into their time space know to appreciate the little things. But in the world of cyberpunk, it's really hard to appreciate the little things when there's so much garbage covering it all. It's not like he could go out into the forest and enjoy the sunlight breaking through the leaves. Why do I care? Why do I care? And that's the question when we're teenagers. Our parents want us to always do things that we tend to not care about. Why do I need to get good grades? Why do I need to follow social rules? Why do I need to listen to this lecture? Why do I need to be here right now? The Empress is the card of femininity and motherhood. David fails to see his mother's sacrifice, her strength, her willingness to sacrifice everything she is and everything she wants because she cares about him. And that we don't learn until later in life when we actually have a girlfriend or someone we fall in love with, or we have kids of our own, where we learn to sacrifice ourselves for their benefit. And crazy enough, David ends up not learning from his mom's mistakes and ends up sacrificing his own life for someone he loves. The question is, did he ever realize how much his mother was doing for him? Wishes are granted, but never how we expect. We always get what we want. Just like David. David got exactly what he wanted. He wanted a fast-paced life, so he got the Sendivis, where he could go as fast as he wants with no limits. Just like he wanted. He got everything he wanted. But sometimes we don't know what we want until we get it, and then we realize that's not really what we wanted. It happens to us all the time, but I'll tell you what, we always get what we want. The Magician is a card of self-confidence and adapting to situations through intellect and sheer will. Through intellect and sheer will, in this world we are provided with all the tools we need to achieve anything we want. In David's case, his mother was even giving him more by sacrificing herself to give him all the tools he needed to achieve a higher goal. But he chose to throw it away. Have you ever noticed how the Magician, the actual Magician card in the Tarot, has a finger pointing up and a finger pointing down? because he pulls from the higher realms down to his reality what he wants. He pulls down his will, and he has all the tools on the table in front of him for him to manifest anything he wants, and that is us all. Because the great secret that I am God, you are God, we are all God. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a card of sacrifice. It says that a price must be paid in order to achieve enlightenment. The thing about this is that David does pay a price. He pays the price with his mother, he pays the price with his Edgerunner partners, he pays the price physically himself to learn this lesson. To learn the lesson that if you live fast, you die young. But he seems to be stubborn and not really want to see it. And that's the problem in this world, that sometimes the answers to our problems are right in front of us, looking at us right in the face like a mirror. But we tend to ignore it, even though we sometimes look at the mirror and realize it's a completely different person.
What in the fuck?
Strength is the card of resilience in order to overcome obstacles and reach one's goal. In David's case, he needs strength to protect those he took responsibility over, which we're talking about, of course, his Edgerunner team. Unfortunately, he must sacrifice a lot of himself to achieve this, and decides to ignore the fact that if he keeps pushing himself to these limits, he'll end up exactly like his mom, burnt out and broken, unable to protect him because she gave everything. In a world where you need to adapt or die, would you not modify your body? The choice to be faster, stronger, or even more beautiful, to change your skin color to any color you want, to look with your eyes and see more than the average man can see. Would you not modify your body to achieve that which we are limited to? The moon reminds us that reality is not always what it seems at first glance. Therefore, he is fooled into believing things that lead to nothing. A glorious, shiny world where he thinks they could all live and pretend like the world is not broken. He has a family and he could party every night after they do a job, and they could just ignore the world. But unfortunately, the world is right there, always in the shadows, ready to creep behind you and destroy that. And unfortunately, in the world of cyberpunk, reality is quite grim, as we find out, as he finds out, when he starts losing the people that he cared for the most. When you make the decision to go fast at all costs, you become the chariot. The chariot is always charging ahead despite being pulled by its steed in opposite directions. The rider who steers it constantly reigns in the light and dark. The thing about this is that the chariot is usually pulled by two horses, one made of light and one made of shadow. Therefore, he's always struggling to keep balance. But speed, if we know anything about speed, is that you get to a point where you're going so fast that even if you see the wall coming and you put the brakes. You will not stop now, you will not stop later. You will hit that wall and you will hit it quite hard. The sun symbolizes success. It is a card of freedom, renewal, and bright future that lies ahead. He achieves all this. He has the woman he loves beside him. He has the strength he so wanted. He has the family and team that rely on him and he protects. He has the home, the money, the life, yet still feels that he's gonna lose it all at any moment because of the sheer speed he's at. Easy come, easy go. And he comes to ignore this. Because once we reach our goals, we gotta stop. We gotta at least slow down. But there is no slowing down for David. He just wants to move forward as fast as he can. Even though he already achieved the greatness and splendor that he wanted. The Wheel of Fortune means that change is coming. Nobody remains at the top forever. We are all affected by the cards that are dealt before us. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, sometimes we're way up, and sometimes we can't get up. The tower is an omen of radical change, chaos and destruction. The lightning strikes the tower, signifies the return to the old order that lies buried under the ruins. The return to the beginning, back where we started, the loop where he ends up doing exactly what his mom did. All his work goes for nothing, because that's what we live in, no? Circle, the Ouroboros, life and rebirth over and over. How do you not know that this is not just a memory? That you're not plugged in and decided to relive all these experiences just because you're trying to remember how they felt when you did it the first time. At the end of it, the world lies at the end of the fool's long and winding journey. We end up wiser is a matter of choice. If you ignore it, you end up still a fool at the end of your journey. Being manipulated by the thoughts of others, ignoring the facts that we head where we want to head. Because it comes from our head. And the thing about this, as people do not want to hear this and people don't want to realize, but we do get what we want. If you want to worry all day long about the problems, your debts, and how the bills are gonna show up, and how somebody is gonna ruin it for you, and that's exactly what you're gonna get, because you are throwing that vibration into the world, and the vibration comes back like a mirror. If you are in the frequency, you will attract the same frequency you emit. And if you emit a life of stress, the life of stress you will get. There's some people that live a blissful life because they decide and they choose that their life is gonna be blissful. And then the world reflects that back at them. But if you're gonna complain and constantly create the world around you in a stressful, thinking everybody's plotting against you, thinking the world is against you, have you not noticed that only when you think about it, it happens? Only when you meditated on it hard enough, then it happens, because reality has been proven that only by the power of thought and observation it changes how it acts. As the question says, if a tree falls in the forest but there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound? Everybody says, I would never create this life. I will never do all these bad things to myself. Why would I bring this upon myself? Well, why do you think it would happen to you before it even happened? You are asking the universe to give you exactly that because you keep thinking that, and therefore the universe will reflect what you think because it's saying, well, that's what you want. You constantly say that person is gonna appear in front of me and it's gonna ruin it. That person is gonna keep ruining it for me, and eventually that person is gonna show up and you're gonna say to yourself, I knew it. Of course you knew it. You created it. You knew it before it happened because you were manifesting it as you meditated on the thought. You would have meditated on a brighter path. Don't you know the people that are successful in this world know they're gonna be a success before they even have a glance of being a success? They know what they want, and they know when the universe reflects that back at them, and like it or not, eventually they become exactly what they knew they were gonna be. And that's the world of Edgerunner. A world where people get what they want, but the world is so broken that nobody cares, and everybody is just saying, why should I care when nobody cares? So the end is the beginning. All the choices we make need to be balanced, and there is a justice on earth just like there is an invisible one, and it will keep tabs on everything and every choice you make. Make sure the balance is not off by much, because something's gotta give at the end. And you may run for a long time, but sooner or later it will cut you.